You know that feeling when your phone buzzes with a text that says, "Hey, sorry, can't make it tonight." And instead of being disappointed, you're relieved? Like genuinely, deeply relieved. Suddenly your whole evening just opens back up. No need to figure out what to wear, no mental preparation for small talk, no calculating when it's socially acceptable to leave. Just you, your couch, and whatever you actually want to do, which might be nothing. And that sounds perfect. If you've ever felt a little guilty about that relief, like maybe something's wrong with you for preferring your own company, this video is for you. Because here's the thing. We live in a world that seems to worship the social butterfly, the person who's always got plans, who thrives at parties, who gets energy from being around people. And if you're not like that, you've probably been told more than once that you need to get out more. But what if you don't, though? Today we're talking about the psychology of people who genuinely prefer staying at home, not because they're depressed or avoiding life, though we'll touch on that distinction too, but because they've figured out something a lot of people are still searching for. They actually like their own company. So let's dig into what's really going on here. Let me describe someone. Maybe it's you, maybe it's someone you know. This person doesn't hate going out. They can have a good time at a party, enjoy dinner with friends, even occasionally surprise themselves by staying out later than planned. But here's the catch. They have a limit, a social battery, if you will. And once it's drained, they're done, like physically and mentally done. 2 social events in one weekend? That's pushing it. 3? Forget it. They'll need the entire next week to recover. Their perfect Friday night isn't at a bar or a party. It's at home, maybe with a book they've been wanting to read, or finally watching that show everyone's been talking about, or honestly just existing without any particular agenda. And it doesn't feel sad or lonely. It feels like the best possible use of their time. Their friends have probably learned to work around this. Some get it. Some have maybe stopped inviting them places, which is a weird mix of relief and slight sadness, because even though they know they would have said no anyway, it still stings a little to not be included. And they've definitely heard the comments, "You're such a homebody. Don't you get bored? Are you okay? You never want to hang out anymore," as if preferring a quiet night in is some kind of red flag that needs to be addressed. Sound familiar? Here's what I want you to know. You're not weird. You're not broken. You're not even that unusual. Your brain just works differently than the people who say these things to you. Let me explain. Okay, so we need to talk about introversion and extroversion. And I know, everyone talks about this, but most people get it wrong. It's not about being shy versus outgoing. Plenty of introverts are great at socializing. They can work a room, give presentations, be the life of the party. But here's the key difference. It costs them energy. Extroverts get recharged by being around people. Social interaction literally fills up their tank. They feel more energized, more themselves, more alive when they're engaging with others. Introverts, they spend energy when they socialize. Even if they're enjoying themselves, even if they like the people they're with, it's draining. And they recharge by being alone. That's not antisocial. That's just how their nervous system is wired. This ties into something psychologists called optimal arousal theory. Basically, everyone has a sweet spot for how much stimulation they need to function well. For extroverts, that sweet spot is pretty high. They need more activity, more noise, more interaction to feel balanced. Their brains are actually less sensitive to stimulation, so they seek it out. Introverts are the opposite. They're more sensitive to stimulation, so they need less of it. Quiet spaces, low-key activities, and controlled amounts of social contact help them think clearly and feel calm. So when you cancel plans to stay home and feel amazing about it, you're not being difficult. You're literally giving your brain what it needs. But there's another layer here, too. Some people are what psychologists call highly sensitive. This doesn't mean emotionally sensitive, though that can be part of it. It means their nervous system processes everything more deeply. Sounds are louder, emotions are more intense, busy environments are genuinely overwhelming. For these people, home isn't just nice, it's essential. It's the only place where the volume of the world gets turned down to a level they can actually handle. And honestly, there's nothing wrong with that. Think about the last time you had a full day at home with absolutely nothing you had to do. No obligations, no one expecting anything from you, no need to be on or perform some version of yourself for other people. What did you do? Maybe you worked on that creative project you never have energy for after work. Maybe you reorganized a closet, which sounds boring but actually felt really satisfying. Maybe you sat in your favorite spot and just thought about stuff. Or maybe you did absolutely nothing productive and it was the best day you'd had in weeks. There's actually science behind why those days feel so good. Solitude, real chosen solitude, has been linked to increased creativity. When you're alone, your mind wanders in ways it just can't when you're managing a conversation or reading social cues. You make connections you wouldn't otherwise make. You think deeper. Some of history's greatest creators were people who spent massive amounts of time alone. It also makes you more self-aware. When you're constantly around other people, it's easy to lose track of what you actually think versus what you're supposed to think, what you actually want versus what everyone else wants. Time alone lets you check in with yourself, process things, figure out how you really feel about stuff. And problem solving often happens best alone. There's value in brainstorming with others, sure, but some of the best solutions come when you step away from all that noise and just think, quietly, by yourself. Home becomes the place where all of this happens. It's not just where you live, it's where you get to be completely, fully yourself without any adjustments or accommodations.